Great, here we go. So again, guys, my name is Michael McClune. I'm super excited to be hosting this webinar for you guys. As you all know, just yesterday, we released the new version of 3D Event Designer with a ton of new features that we're really excited about. These features are really gonna help everyone create floor plans much quicker with more realism than ever before. And we're gonna be focusing on 7 of the main new features today. But before diving in there, I do want to go over our new Help Center very quickly. So on our homepage, you can go ahead and click on the Tutorials button, and it'll take you directly to this new Help Center. This Help Center has been redesigned, broken out into different sections, as you can see. It pretty much covers every single part of our software you can imagine. And if you go ahead and click on a specific section, it'll take you to that page. It'll have a nice GIF or a couple of pictures, and then step-by-step instructions as well on how to do that specific feature. But as always, we're always happy to help you guys out and host any one-on-one training sessions that are needed. But this Help Center will be a lot of help for everyone. So with that said, let's go ahead and get started. The first main feature, or the new one that we're going to talk about today, is our new table wizard. I'm super excited about this feature. This is one that a lot of our users were asking for. And so now we're over here in a floor plan and we're in the 2D view. If we go to the Furnish tab, what you'll now see next time you log in is Table Wizard at the very top here above Room Construction. So if I go ahead and click on Table Wizard, you'll see 3 different drop downs now. These will continually be updated with additional ones, but the whole goal of this Table Wizard is to let people get a jump start on preset tables that already have designs, that already have chairs at them, already have place settings at them, or centerpieces at them. So you can easily do your table setup very quickly. And then you can swap out chairs, place settings, and centerpieces. So for example, if I were to go down to this tables with seats, place settings, and centerpieces one, I'll have round tables here. I can go ahead and click on maybe this 54-inch round with 8 seats, drag it into my workspace. Let's go into the 3D view, and there you go. Now what I'll do is I'll go into the 3D global view now to edit this. So let's go ahead and say I drag this one in, and perhaps I didn't want this gold Shibari chair. Instead, I wanted a different one. I'll go ahead and click on that specific item. Over here in the properties menu, I can now go down to swap item and pick a different chair for this table. Go ahead and maybe click on this crossback chair, and I can press apply to all to apply it to every chair at this table. And just like that, I got a new chair arrangement. I can do the same thing for the place settings and same thing for the centerpiece. So for example, let's go ahead and click on the centerpiece. Do the same thing over in the properties window, go to swap item, and go ahead and swap this out with a different centerpiece. So this really is gonna help you create diagrams or your table setups much quicker. We're continuously going to be updating this with additional preset arrangements, but as you'll notice, if we go to tables with seats and place settings, we have rounds, half rounds, squares, and rectangles, so on and so forth. We'd love to hear your feedback on what other preset tables you want, but again, super excited about this. This table wizard, along with our autofill feature, which we've already had. Again, our autofill feature is when you group an item, and then over here on the right, you can go ahead and duplicate it as many times as you want, and you can tell the system the spacing that you want. Will really help you create your entire diagram very quickly. We'll go on to the second feature now, and before I do that, just know you please type in questions into the chat box or into the questions panel, and I'll get to them at the end, if not as I go. All right, this next feature is grouping items with precision. Extremely excited about this one as well. Let's go to this floor plan here where we already have a arrangement already set up. In the past, when you wanted to group items, you'd use our select tool to draw a box around the grouping that you want. Very helpful, but the main issue we heard was the box, anything that the box encompasses, it'll put that into the grouping. So if you didn't want to group a specific thing, but the box happened to go around it, you'd be stuck, right? What you can now do is you can actually use your shift key to select the items that you want to group. So what I'll do is I'll go ahead and zoom in on the area, and maybe I just want to duplicate this table and chairs, but not the place settings and not the centerpieces. I can go ahead and press and hold my shift key and select all the items that I want to duplicate. So for example, just this one, and this one, these three, I can go ahead and press copy, and I will get my copy of just these three chairs. So you'll still be using the select tool to group large items, but if you're in a very small space with a lot of items here and you just want to pick out specific ones, go ahead and just press and hold your shift key and select the ones that you want. And there you go. All right, next one we're going to be talking about is PDFing the inventory page. So the inventory page, again, is what you'll click on when you're done with your floor plan. So let me go ahead and press the back button here and delete some of these chairs. So let's say we're done with this floor plan. I've taken my snapshots of the 2D view and the 3D view. Maybe I've done a seating chart, as you can see here. And now I want to print out or PDF an inventory page to share with my colleagues or my event setup team. I'll go ahead and click on the inventory page. It's the same format as before, but we've added the option for a quick PDF download. So as you'll see, the inventory page gives you all your information of your event at the top here, any notes you want to save. It has the picture snapshots of the 2D view, of the 3D view, and the 3D global view, really any view that you've saved. Has the item quantity list and the inventory list right here. And then at the very bottom, we've got our seating chart, which will show up. And I always like to stress with the seating chart, you can get as detailed as you want, right? You can put first and last name, you can put their entree of choice, you can put their food allergens, really anything you want to put, and it will show up on this page. What's super exciting here, though, is we've always had the email and the print and the CSV option. We've now added the PDF option. So very quick for you to just press that. It'll automatically download as a PDF, and you can go ahead and share that via email or print it out. All right, on to the next one. This is the fourth out of the 7 we'll be talking about today. It is the redesigned walls. There's a few things actually we're going to be going over here, redesigned walls. Let's move up to this floor plan, which is just a bare, empty floor plan, as you'll see, with white walls and gray floors. One of the things that we really pride ourselves on is the ability to really make your venue extremely detailed in the 3D view, very realistic, right? So your client knows exactly what their layout's going to look like in a specific venue. And with this new update, it's going to make you or enable you to make your venues even more realistic. So the first thing we'll be going over on the redesigned walls is what we call the dropper feature. So if I were to go ahead and change this specific wall to a different color, I'll go ahead and click on this wall. I'll go down to texture or color. And I can either choose the inside of the wall or outside. I'll choose the inside for this purpose. And maybe I wanted to change it to this color plaster. I'll go ahead and press apply. Go into the 3D walk mode. As you can see, it applies it to that wall. Now in the past, I'd have to do that for each wall unless I just wanted to apply it to all. But if I only wanted to apply it to 1 or 2 others, you didn't really have an option in the past other than manually doing it. What you can now do is you can go ahead and click on the wall that you want to apply the same texture to. For example, this left wall here. And what I'll do is I'll hover over the inside of the wall, so this one. And I have this little dropper icon now, which will allow me to click it. And now I can click what I want to copy over. So I click that wall, and now that texture has applied to this wall as well, very quickly. Same thing over here. Maybe I wanted to do one more wall. I'll go ahead and click on the wall I want to apply it to. I'll press the dropper icon, and then I'll click on the texture that I want to copy over. And there you go. So super, super exciting, super quick to duplicate these wall textures. That's the first part of the redesigned walls. I'll go ahead and press the back button to undo a few of these. And we'll go on to the next step of redesigned walls. This next step is the ability to add multiple textures and colors stacked on top of each other to one wall. So for example, let's go ahead and click on this wall. And as you see right now, it's just back to white. Maybe I wanted to add 2 textures. Maybe I wanted to add wood, and then on top of that, plaster or vice versa, right? I'll go ahead and click on a wall, and over here on the properties menu, I can go ahead and go down to multiple textures, and I'll click on adjust material. I'll then zoom in on this wall, and you'll notice that again, I have the option to adjust either the interior or the exterior. So I'll go ahead and adjust the interior. And down here in the bottom left is a new button called Stack Materials. So I'll go ahead and click on Stack Materials. And now I'll choose my material. So maybe I want my first material to be maybe this dark wood. Press apply. And then maybe I want my second material to be this plaster again. Now I'll press apply. We'll go into the 3D walk mode. And now I can stack my materials. And I can do multiple, right? If I wanted to do 3 different materials, I can absolutely do 3 different materials. But this will allow you to really mimic the real life bin use wall really closely. And I can also go back in and edit this and choose how far up I want this plaster to go versus this wood. So I'll go back in the 2D view. I'll click on the wall again. I'll go back into this texture and I can go ahead and change this dimension of how high this will start. So maybe we'll put it up to 5 feet, press apply and go back into 3D view. And now it starts 5 feet up the wall. The third and final portion of redesigned walls revolves around easily being able to put moldings and baseboards. So let me go ahead and press the back button here and I will undo this wall back to the standard white. Okay, there we go. And I'll click on the wall again, properties menu. This time we'll scroll down a little further and we have a section called moldings and baseboards. Go ahead and click add molding or baseboard. First thing I'll do is I'll just tell the system what type it is. This is really just for my own purpose to remember what I'm creating. So if I want to go back in later, I know which one the baseboard is and which one the molding is. So I'll click baseboard for this. Let's actually go into the 3D global view so we can see a little bit better what we're doing in real time. So you'll notice right here, we have a little jut out of the wall right here. The height is 3 inches, or 3 feet right now, 3 inches. I'll go ahead and maybe change this to 1 foot. You can see it changes it. I can go ahead and make the thickness a little bigger if I wanted to. For this purpose, I'll go ahead and just make it a little thinner. And I can change the position of it. So maybe I wanted to make this top of the wall, or maybe I wanted it to be in the middle, or maybe I just want to do custom and I want to tell the system how far off the ground it will be. For this purpose, since it's a baseboard, I'll just put it at the bottom of the wall. Then I'll go ahead and click on add molding or baseboard again. And this time I'll go ahead and label it molding. So I know this one's molding. And same thing, I can go ahead and change the height or the thickness and where it's positioned. So for this one, I'll go ahead and position it in the middle. Or maybe I'll do custom actually, and I'll drop it down a little bit. Let's drop it down to right here. Let's go into 3D walk mode. Now these are a little tough to see, obviously, because the wall is all white. Let's go ahead and change this to maybe a different color. And there we go. And let's go into 3D global view and make this one a little thinner. So I know that one's my molding. I'll go ahead and select molding. And I will change the height so it's a little thinner. And then I'll raise it off the ground so it's more in the middle of the wall. Back into 3D walk mode, and there you go. So again, very, very easy and quick to edit these walls and make them very, very realistic. All right, so we're on to the 5th feature. I'll pause for just a few seconds to see if there's any questions so far. If not, we'll continue. All right, perfect. If there's any questions. Oh, here we go. In regards to the easy switching features, is there a way to easily swap out number of chairs per table? Thank you for asking, great question. Really the best option today is to go back to the table wizard. And for example, if you were going with tables, seats, place settings, and centerpieces, going back in and reselecting however many chairs you want. That'll be the quickest, simplest way. And again, if there's more preset arrangements that you want to see, please let us know. So you'll notice just right off the bat, right, with 48-inch rounds, we have 6, 7, and 8 seats already preset. And we have 54-inch rounds, so on and so forth. If there's other presets you want to see that'll make your life a little bit easier and make it a little bit quicker for you to do, just go ahead and let us know, and we're happy to add additional ones. So as of right now, that'll be the easiest way. All right, on to the next one, is talking a little bit about the sky background. So this is great for outdoor events that you want to make extremely realistic looking. So here we go, we're outside of this venue. You know, obviously the exterior is just white right now, but the sky background, right? Maybe you want to mimic the time of day or even the weather. What you'll notice now is when you're in the 3D walk mode or the 3D global mode, under the sundial, the little lighting and sky background icon, you now have preset sky backgrounds that you can go ahead and change. So just swapping through them real quick so you can see exactly what this does. So just nice ones, right? Again, to more mimic the time of day. You also at the very bottom here still have your global illumination where you can change the sun intensity and the sky intensity to make it a little bit lighter or darker. But along with this sky background, we do have the option now for you to upload your custom one. So again, this will mainly apply to outdoor events. Again, this kind of aligns to us helping you make it look even more realistic than it already is. All right, now on to number 6. We're gonna be going over Smart Replace. Smart Replace works great for, one of the main use cases is for doors. Let's go ahead and add in a few doors to this floor plan. So I'll add in a few different ones. Maybe one right here, here, and one right here. And let's go into the 3D global view and let's take a look at here. And so you'll notice I have obviously 3 different looking doors. Let's say I wanted to swap all these out to have all the same looking door. Maybe I decided I want them all to be this door. What I can do is I can go ahead and click on a door that I want to change, press swap item and change it. Or with our new Smart Replace, instead I can go ahead and click on Smart Replace item and then use this little crosshair right here and click on the door that I want to replace it with. Now this will work for any item. I'm just doing the use case for doors, but I'll do it again. Let's go ahead and click on this door and let's go ahead and say I wanted to Smart Replace it with the other 2 doors. Click on Smart Replace and swap it here. So there's obviously many use cases here, but it's just a little bit quicker, a little bit easier on the doors aspect than going into swap item. So again, this will align to you just helping you create floor plans much quicker. And the final one that we'll go over today, and then we'll go to Q&A if there's any more questions. We got about 10 minutes left, is keyboard shortcuts. So we're adding some keyboard shortcuts. The 2 that we're gonna go over today are the undo and redo, pretty straightforward, but let's go to this floor plan over here. We've always had, let's go ahead and move this chair over here. We've always had the undo and redo buttons up here. You can go ahead and undo that and then redo it. But now what we've added is the ability to use your keyboard. So very similar to if you're in your email provider, type in an email and you want to press the undo button with using the keyboard shortcuts, or whether in your Microsoft Word, same thing applies here. I can go ahead and press, I'm on a Mac, I can go ahead and press Command Z, go ahead and move this, Command Z, and it'll go back. Or I can press Command Shift Z and redo it. Works the same way on Windows, it's just slightly different. It'll be Control Z or Control Shift Z for redo. So again, I'll go ahead and show you this one more time. Maybe I go ahead and group these 2 items using the Shift key, move them, and then decide later, let's put them back. Command Z, Command Shift Z. All right, awesome. So that was the 7 main features we're going over today. This was recorded, so we will be sending this out to anyone that wants access to it. Again, keep in mind that we do have our new Help Center, which goes through each one of these features step by step. You'll actually be getting an email later today just about the Help Center. It'll have a nice snippet of the 7 new features along with links directly to where there's step-by-step instructions in the Help Center. But again, feel free to reach out with any questions. We're happy to do any training sessions for you or your team. I'll go ahead and pause now and give it a couple minutes to see if anyone has any further questions. If not, we can go ahead and end this webinar. All right, looks like we got one question. Can we lock a group and name it in order to be able to move them around together? All right, let me see if I understand that question fully. Let me go ahead and group this item right here. So what you can do is you can, what you'll notice now is when you group an item, or a grouping, I should say, over here in the properties menu, you do have the ability to lock them. Now, you don't have the ability to name this grouping, but this lock icon will save it, and you can move them all together. And if I go and do something else, maybe I group this item and move this over here, this will stay grouped since I locked it. So again, if I want to just keep certain things grouped together because I know that I'm going to come back at a later time to edit them or move them, I can absolutely just go ahead and click on this lock icon and it will keep this grouping until I uncheck the lock icon. So hopefully that answered your question as far as actually labeling that grouping, not as of today. All right, I'll give it 1 or 2 more minutes for any other questions. All right, well, awesome. It doesn't look like there's any other questions. I want to thank you all again for the time. We are hosting one more tomorrow at 10:30 Pacific time in the morning, 10:30 in the morning. So feel free to hop onto that one as well. Again, this was recorded and I can shoot this out to you if needed, but I very much appreciate your time today and we're super excited about this new release. This is just one of the things coming out this year. We're working on a lot of innovative features and we cannot wait for you to see all of them. Thank you again for the time and I will talk to you soon.